You got 5 tips, tricks, things for us, things for our
Yes, sir.
contractors.
And
So
I'll
let's
go.
go with number 1.
Absolutely. And so I'm going to go from foundational to most advanced. To me, foundational
Okay.
starts with the website. I mean, if I had to go precursor, it would be Google My Business. Get your Google My Business right. Make sure you have good reviews. But with the website, it's pretty foundational. The biggest thing is most people get it wrong. They make their website all about themselves and their company. And that might be good for recruiting. Maybe if you make your people the hero and if you're trying to recruit, that's good. But we got to figure out how to make the homeowner or the buyer or whatever, we need to make those people the hero of your website. And that's with language, saying you more often. And a really quick way to remember this is you got to get your we off the website. So you got to stop saying we all the time on your website. You got to start saying you and yours and your family. We want your family to have your dream home. We want to, so you got to get the we off the website. And the other thing is social proof. So this is all part of number 1, which is social proof is so huge. You got to show more of these homeowners. You got to show more of these people. Like I believe a good piece of social proof includes a video, but if we didn't have a video, we're talking a picture of the person or the couple, right? We're talking a real brief sentence or two, their name, where the review was left. So if it's Google or Facebook, and a visual 5-star icon right there. So all of this brings out the reality of this review, not just a testimonial. And if you need to, you can ask them to go, put it on Google My Business or put it on Facebook. But people don't trust reviews, man. People don't trust testimonials unless it was left somewhere these days.
Sure. Okay, great tip. So first, before the tips happen,
yes, sir.
Check out Google My Business.
Yes.
That's your pre-tip.
Yes.
Tip
because even if you don't have a website, Google My Business, you can get business from Google My Business. So.
Sure. Okay. And then if you have a website, take your wee out of it.
Take your wee off the website. People are not going to forget that now.
No, I mean, I certainly won't. Hopefully we can come back and do another one of these.
Yeah.
But so take it off the website, and then social proof, different than testimonials.
Yep.
Social proof is a little bit more detail around the testimonial, a picture, where it came from, 5 stars, put some humanity around the testimonial.
Yeah, exactly. So that is all number 1. Let's just call it social proof customer obsession.
Got it. Okay.
Number 2, photos of every job need to be out on your IG stories, and you need to make before and afters a habit. So never miss a job. Anything, I mean, we work with some exterior people too, and maybe you don't need to take a picture of every roof, but you definitely need to, if you spend more than 3 days at somebody's home, there needs to be pictures. So like make it a habit for your people. They don't need to be perfect. If you have access to a photographer, that's great, but iPhones do a really good job, like high-end smartphones do a really good job these days. Just, you have to take IG stories, and you need to make before and afters a habit on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, so that's for your social media.
Yeah.
A lot of photos, every job, befores and afters are the key.
Exactly.
For the BuilderTrend users out there, perfect application would be our daily logs. Tell your people every day they go to a job site, snap a daily log, take 4 or 5 photos. Those all go to a central place, and then you can take those and put them on your social media.
Exactly, and little, I think details is good, right? Details, in challenges. So think in details and challenges. It might not be interesting for you. I've been out with a bunch of contractors now on the job, and they're like, oh, I'm just doing this. No, but why?
Sure.
Tell me a little bit more about that. Let's zoom in on that cabinet. Let's zoom in on that countertop. Let's look at the details, because the details really sell jobs sometimes. And then also, the details sell jobs. What else was I going with that? Details and basically in process. I was going to say in process stuff. Like it doesn't have to be completed to be interesting. As your person's actually putting it together, kind of do a short video. Short video is key. They're not going to watch 5 minutes of you putting on a sink, but they might watch a minute.
Sure. So when on the job site, photos or video, I think some contractors forget that it might be old hat to them to do like their 1,000th sink or their screen door, but it's not something that the normal homeowner understands. So
yeah,
it could be good. Just remind yourself that it's probably the first time somebody's seen that.
yep. And I think that's a huge thing for whatever your business is. Like the basics get boring and we want to do more advanced stuff, right? So we get sick of, you know, promoting that entryway that everybody wants or whatever. We get bored, but the new customer isn't bored. You got to keep on, you know, you got to keep on doing it. You got to look at the last 10 jobs. Look at what was the most lucrative for you. Continually push this. You got to push the same stuff. And to have consistency is powerful.
Love it. Okay. So 2 is all about social media, taking photos on the job site. Do it every day. Consistency is key, right?
Exactly.
Number 3.
3 is friends don't let friends blog without a distribution strategy. So
that's a long one.
yes,
You have to unpack that one for us.
don't blog unless you know how people are going to see it. I get really sad and scared when I see somebody put out a blog. Like we had somebody during COVID, we saw them, they were putting out a blog every day, little things. And we were looking at their analytics and there was one person viewing that blog post every day. Do you know who that one person was?
Their mom.
The person that wrote it probably, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Parents should at least support.
yeah, exactly. To me, if you don't have a way to get it out there, like if it's social media, that's great. Or if it's like we do keyword strategy, right? So like we love SEO. If you haven't looked into keyword strategy, look into it. It's awesome. You can figure out what your competitors are ranking for. You can really focus on where people are really already searching Google for. I love that.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a great tip. So real quickly, tell people how to do that.
Yeah. Content, like keyword strategy, it does require tools. There's 2 tools, SEMrush and Ahrefs, ahrefs.com, where you can pop a competitor's website in there and you can basically run the tool on it and it will say all of the things that competitor is ranking for. So let's say,
great.
yeah.
So if you've got a competitor in your market, you know they do a great job of marketing, you're just trying to figure out what they're doing. You plug into one of these tools, their website, and you get some insight.
Exactly. And it's so powerful. And it's fun too. It's like business development fun because you're curious about what services are selling. Like I know so much weird stuff about what like sells and, you know, like there's weird stuff like build on your lot. I know it because of keyword research. I don't actually know anything about this business per se half the time, but I know it because I look on like this is what people are searching and this is where leads are coming from. So it's just an interesting thing where you can get in there and actually look at the back end of their business in a weird way. It's good for just like R&D too, you know?
Yeah, that's great. So the main tip is if you're blogging,
yes,
putting content out there, some sort of article, talking about a topic you're an expert in, before you do that, your friends should tell you that you need to know where you're going to go.
Exactly. Know where it goes. And if you've got a big social media following, that could be it. You know what I mean? That could be it. It's just most of us don't have as big of a social media following as we wish we had, you know? So like keyword research is a great way to do that. Honestly, I'm just going to quickly say like we have, I don't know, not that many, like we have like 30 likes on each Instagram photo. Like we're not influencers, but we have 5,000 people on our website a day, like 5,000 plus page views. Like it's crazy what you can do if you just figure out what people are searching and then make content for that. So it's, you know, you don't have to be an influencer to get an abnormal amount of attention.
Okay, that's the beauty of social media,
Yep.
beauty of the web. All right, so tip number 4.
Tip number 4, this is all about video and social. So content marketing, and then plus if you are spending money on ads, let's say Facebook ads or something, video makes it go much further. So I'd say we're starting to get, like, it is more difficult to do this well. But I believe in a minute and a half videos. And then if you've got like a reel, like this is a how-to for homeowners or something, maybe it could be a little bit more longer form. But my favorite is like doing shorter videos that really capture people's attention, that really address your customer's pain point, and then draw them to come to your website or draw them to, you know, send you a message. I just believe that people are wasting money on some social media ads sometimes by not making the creative good. You've got to make the creative as good as you possibly can. And sometimes that's just spending a little bit more money on video, or, you know, investing some time in it yourself to kind of learn how to make a video interesting.
Right. So if you don't have the money, you can still make a decent video yourself, right? Oh, yeah. With your iPhone and a little bit of how to.
Oh yeah. And honestly, we record a ton of video. We have nice cameras, but half the time we just stop. We don't use the cameras and we just go to the iPhone because it's so handy and it's right there. And sometimes it's about being at the spot when something's happening. It's not all about the perfect, you know, do I care about 4K video? I don't know. I don't think I care very much.
Okay. So that ties back to a previous tip, which is social media, get it out there, get it consistent, but through video.
Yeah, exactly.
Tom Holland's going to love that. Tom's all about the video. Shout out Tom there. But you're right. Video performs so much better than photos, right?
Yeah.
A lot. So where does one go just to figure out how to maybe do a video? Is there like is there a blog you guys have for?
Yeah, we did
like that?
We did a really in-depth blog post about it at hookagency.com/video. And to be honest, I kind of have a little bit of an angle there, which is it's not just about the marketing aspect of video. It's such a sales support tool. So if you get good at using video a little bit, even in the sales part, obviously like with Zoom and, you know, FaceTime and stuff, you can do that with your customers, but also just little videos. Like when somebody asks a question in the sales process, remember that, log it up here, put it on your list, and then do a video that's like basically, in marketing, we got all these advanced terms for it, right? Like we call it account-based marketing or an account-based sales. But you don't have to just making video for real questions that people have asked, right? Like I think that there's a beauty in sales support video. And if you think about it that way, you don't need to get 150 views to count it as a win. You need 20, you need 30, you need a little bit more than last month. You know, you don't have to think about it in these big, like, we need this to go viral or otherwise it wasn't worth it.
Right. No, that's perfect. I really like that last tip. So go to your next 5 sales calls as a construction company.
Yeah.
Remember the questions that are asked and do a 1-minute video answering that question right to the camera. And
exactly.
Put it on your social media. That's something you can tangibly take away and do.
Absolutely.
I'm going to have our guys do that.
Good. I like it. Yeah.
Right.
It's huge.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I just love tapping our sales guy too. I love going and talking to him and be like, what are the questions? Like he's got the best ideas for videos. And I have, you know, half the time I'm not talking to as many prospects anymore. And he's got better ideas than me because of it.
And you should be checking in at all times. I mean, as we know, since April of this year, the world has changed. The questions you're getting asked during the sales process have changed.
Yep.
Your prospects' concerns have changed. So absolutely, next thing you do is go on a sales call with your sales reps, do it yourself. Have a lot of questions be asked you, write them down and do a video, right?
Exactly. Powerful stuff.
All right, so we're on to final tip number 5. Before we do that, we've got a lot of people joined here. Some I recognize the names of our great BuilderTrend clients. Fire away questions at Tim or Lee, about 5 minutes. If we don't have anything, I'm just going to put you on the spot and you're going to talk about yourself.
Sweet. Yeah, I've got marketing trends for 2021 too here, so we can talk about those in a second. But my last one on, you know, the most important stuff for right now, the last bit from my point of view is content collaboration. You know, kind of like what you and I are doing here, there's a lot of opportunities for contractors, for their vendors, companies, their materials, those types of things. Mix your content strategy with your business strategy. You know, you've got business collaboration because we all need materials, you know, and we all have a place where we go and get the most stuff. You can actually find ways to create content, especially if you go through like local vendors or like things like that. I'm excited. I'm going to be doing a little bit of chat with Cambria, and I bet you they'd love to, you know, if somebody's dealing Cambria and if somebody is putting Cambria in, they'd love to talk with you and do some collaboration. They're great at marketing. You guys are great at marketing. There's a lot of opportunities for materials companies, for different kinds of, and even like, let's say, you know, an interior designer and a remodeler, you know, and,
yeah, that makes sense.
You know, exterior, interior. There's a lot of back and forth that you can do. You can cross-pollinate audiences and you can get more deals done, right? Because you're really solidifying these relationships with them by creating content together. Or hey, you're doing deals together. Why not create some content together? Because you get the different perspectives, and it'll make your content more interesting. So there's a lot of great reasons to collaborate on that stuff.
All right. So tactically, if you're listening to this, you're a custom home builder, construction company in your market. Think about the 5 vendors and suppliers you have best relationships with. Your sales rep, just reach out to them and say, "Do you guys want to do anything socially?
Yeah.
Do like a live video, maybe do an interview from the Cambria, showroom, something, right? They'll probably have ideas, but start the conversation, see where it lands.
And tactically tag them, those types of things. I think Facebook is great for that stuff too. So.
Right. Perfect. Awesome.
Real quick, somebody did have a question of what are the basics to doing Google My Business properly. I just want to, the biggest one is to make sure everything's filled out. That's the biggest one. And the second biggest one is get as many reviews as you possibly can. But basically, if you fill it out all the way, that's the biggest one you can do.
So just basics.
Yeah.
You get a Gmail, you get a Google account.
Yeah.
You look up to see if you have one already. You get your profile, you make sure it's totally filled out.
Exactly.
Then you push your happiest clients there to do reviews.
Exactly. And the asking for reviews is an art in and of itself, but you just want to be a human to them when you ask. I think people are kind of silly sometimes and try to go get a software to ask for reviews for them. It's like the best way to ask for a review is in person or on the phone. And then, the second best way is a heartfelt email.